Hi everyone, hope you're all well and thanks for joining me for today's video. So I've come here today to have a chat about Dear Dad Journal entry number 5, where I shall be revealing my dreams for the future. As you'll have noticed, I'm at the coast once again today. However, the weather is not that great and it's a little chilly and windy here at Hill Head. I have to say I don't mind the coast whatever the weather. I maybe actually prefer it when it is stormy. I think it's more atmospheric and I suppose I feel more connected to the energy. Anyway, once again, thank you for being here and I hope you enjoy the video. Please don't forget to hit subscribe, like or comment. They all really help the channel to grow. Thank you. So yeah, I actually bought my camping chair with me today because I thought I might not be able to find anywhere to sit down, but fortunately there's quite a few benches here, so I've taken refuge on this one here. So as you know, this journal is a book from my daughters, the one that they gave me, for me to fill out with loads of information about myself, so that when I've gone or later on in life and I can't remember things or they can't remember things, it's a nice thing to refer back to and have that information there. Today is journal entry number 5, and the question that I've decided to answer today is the one that asks me about the dreams I have for the rest of my life. I think this is really poignant because we all have dreams, don't we? No matter what age we are, we have dreams. We have dreams when we're a child. We have dreams when we have our own children. And I suppose at 57 now, nearly 58, it's my birthday soon, hint hint. I just really had to look at this with a kind of different perspective, I suppose, and see where that was going to take me. It's getting really cold here at the moment. I'm getting quite chilly, so it's not going to be the longest video ever today. It's going to be a pretty short one. So I'm going to read this response to the question that is, what dreams do you have for the rest of your life? So I suppose when you reach a certain age in your life, your dreams for the future would be greatly different to those you had when you were younger. However, I'm not exactly sure about that. If I think back to my younger days, I don't think my future dreams are that different really. As the clock ticks by, I suppose we reflect on maybe the things that you've not done. And the thing that really springs to mind for me is travel. Growing up in a family where travel was not really that important, it can either leave you with the urge to explore the world or maybe just not be that interested in it. I think I was always curious about what other countries had to offer, but maybe, like many of us, believed there was plenty of time left to do this, and also believed that travel was for the rich. Now that I'm older and I don't really have any idea of how long I've got left on the planet, I now feel an urgency to see as much of it as I'm able to before it's too late. In my lifetime, I've actually only visited 3 different countries, you know. I would love to experience some Scandinavian countries, and also New Zealand really appeals to me. I'm not sure why the Scandinavian countries particularly appeal to me. I can only think it's because when I had my DNA done, my DNA came back and I was 85% English and 15% Scandinavian. So it must be there in my roots somewhere that I need to go and visit, you know, part of my history and part of my past, I suppose. But yeah. So I'd love to experience some Scandinavian countries and also New Zealand. New Zealand really appeals to me. It's like Australia without the snakes. And I like the thought of that. So some of you may know in previous videos I've discussed my camper van and getting my camper van on the road. It's really nearly there. I just need a little bit more funding, I suppose, to get that finished and actually on the road properly so that I can get away and travel. I'm still hoping it's something I'm going to be able to do this year, even if it's just to get away for a couple of weeks around the UK somewhere. That would be a fantastic thing for me to be able to do. So I think that's one of my dreams, is really to get that on the road sorted out. I've never been to Scotland. I've never been to Ireland. They're all places I'd love to do in my camper van, really. As well as Cornwall would be incredible, being as I have family links to Cornwall. So that would be really good. So they're dreams that I've still got. And they're dreams for me, I suppose. And also, I suppose the other dream, that comes into that, and it's not an easy one, but I am someone that loves shared experiences. I don't mind doing stuff on my own. I find it quite enjoyable, really. But the real big moments in life, I think, the wow moments, are moments that are best shared with people. So you have shared memories. And I think that's something that's lacking in my life at the moment, having that someone, a special someone to share that with, which I find, which I kind of find a little bit upsetting at times. But I know that right person will come along. I know it's not going to be like that forever. And I think that's just being patient with myself. But I think that is one of my dreams, and to find somebody that I can share those moments with, go travelling with, and do all those really, really exciting things and experience them together. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think there's a lot of people that feel like that. Sometimes for some people life has no meaning without anybody else in their life, but for me, I suppose in the past I felt like that, but now I don't feel like that so much. It really is just having somebody there as a bedrock of my life. I don't know whether any of that makes sense. Some of it probably sounds a bit hypocritical, doesn't it? But I've got another plane going over now. I thought it was going to be really peaceful here. It's actually quite noisy, but it's cool. It's cool. I suppose I'm not that far from an airport or an airfield, so I don't know why I expected any different, really. But yeah, and I suppose the other dream, that I've written down in there, and I'm sort of going off on a tangent now, really, the other dream that I've got would be to be able to, and this is a dream, I don't necessarily know whether it's something that's ever going to come into reality, but it would be to secure financial freedom for my children and my stepchildren, really. I think they all have their own dreams, and amazing dreams, and they're entitled to dreams, and I want them to fulfil their dreams. But sometimes I feel the way society is set up, we're held back from doing that. We're kind of, as Elvis said, we're caught in a trap. And I think to be able to find financial freedom, or for me to be able to find financial freedom for them, would be an incredible thing, wouldn't it? What a gift that would be. To be able to say to them, go and pursue your dreams. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about putting food on your table. You don't have to worry about putting food on your children's table. They're not worries that you have to have. You can fulfill your dreams. You can do the things that you want to do. You can follow your passions. And I had an interesting conversation with Tasha, my youngest daughter, about this the other day. It's something we talked about quite a bit, really, about how we do all these things when we're at school. We take part in all these extracurricular activities. So we do outside sports, we do outside clubs, theatre productions, school plays, form bands, all those kind of things that we do when we're at school. And then generally when we leave school, if you're lucky enough to get a job, we then just get into that rut of doing a job, and the job demands so much from us. It kind of sucks all the life out of us, doesn't it? We end up just being clones of everybody else, and we lose our individuality, and we lose our creativity. And I think for me to be able to ensure financial freedom for my kids and my children's children, and so on, that would be the ultimate gift that I could give them, really. So there you go. They're my dreams, really, in a nutshell. Some of them I think are realistic and ones that I can achieve. The travel one I think I can definitely achieve. I just have to find out a way of funding that. But that's doable. You can do that kind of thing on minimal amount of money if you need to, can't you? Depends how expensive and how much you want to spend, really. So that's something that's perfectly doable. Financial freedom for my kids, that's another matter. That's something I'm going to have to work on a bit harder, isn't it? But I think that'd be a beautiful thing. I don't want them to have to struggle. I know they all do amazing. You know, they're all doing fantastic in their own way. And I'm really proud of them, you know. They've all come from quite humble beginnings and they're all doing amazingly well. And they're just really grounded, well-rounded individuals. And I'm really proud of that. But I don't want to see them getting dragged down into that life that we all end up sort of kind of getting dragged down into, you know. Because I don't believe life is meant to be like that. I don't believe we're here for that. We need contrast in our lives, so we need things that, you know, challenge us, things that push us to the limits, to be able to develop skills and learn lessons. I understand that. But actually, you know, money is only energy, isn't it? Surely, you know, surely there's got to be better ways of living life than being a slave to the 9 to 5. I think some of the Scandinavian countries have actually got a much better work-life balance than we do here in the UK. I feel just so much of our time is dedicated to our careers and to our work. And I get that for some people, their career is their passion, it is their life. If they're doing something they really enjoy or something they feel really passionate about. But I think most of us, we go to work to earn the money to pay the bills, to have a roof over our head and food on our plates, don't we? And here we are, 2024, and we're still living like that. So yeah, financial freedom for my kids. I'm not so much bothered about me. My dreams are through my children now, really. When the time comes for me to pass, I suppose it would just be really comforting for me to know that they haven't got the struggles that maybe, you know, some of us have had to have. And I'm making it sound like I feel sorry for myself. No, I'm not. I don't really feel sorry for myself. There's times when I do. I think there's times when we all do, don't we? You know, we all get down and we all feel a bit glum. But I go back to that old thing, you know, there for the grace of God and be grateful for what you have. And I am eternally grateful. I have a really good life. I have great friends and a really good life. But there's still things that I would like to do. There's still dreams that I would like to pursue. So for me, I'm going to see what I can do about those dreams. I'll keep you updated. But anyway, that is Dear Dad Journal entry number 5. And I really don't intend it to be a downer one today. It's a positive one, really, because, you know, I've got that opportunity to live those dreams that a lot of people haven't got. So yeah, just sitting here really looking out to the Isle of Wight, I think it's pretty incredible. And I do appreciate how lucky I am. I'm 15 minutes from my house, really. And that is driving, not walking, by the way. But I'm 15-minute drive from my house. And have this coastline all along here, which is... it's really nice. I'm really lucky. I do need to go to the Isle of Wight soon, though. I've not been there for a little while. I'd like to go and revisit some of the places that I went when I was a kid with my mum and dad when we went on holiday over there. And I talked about that in another video, didn't I? You know, where I was just essentially saying how it always felt like we were going really, really far away. And it felt really exotic just to go to the Isle of Wight. And I think some of the places even had palm trees, probably fake palm trees. So it did feel like another country. And I remember we never went to the main sort of touristy part of the island. We always went to sort of like the other side. And I loved it. We used to walk a lot. So when we used to go to the Isle of Wight, like I said, we never had a car. So it'd be on public transport. So anywhere we wanted to go on the island, we'd have to catch the bus or walk. And we never really, we never really had much money. And I remember us just walking and walking and walking and walking. And I can remember one day, I'm not sure how old I was, I can remember just sitting down in the middle of the road. So I have no idea how old I was. I can remember just sitting down in the middle of the road and my mum and dad looking back and seeing me just sat there. And I refused to walk any further because I just felt we'd walked and walked forever. And I think we had. I think from what I recall, we'd walked about 9 miles somewhere. And I was probably only, I should imagine, 7 or 8 at the time. But yeah, I can remember just walking miles and miles and miles. And that day I just gave up and I thought, I can't do this anymore. But I loved it, really. It's quite special. That's why I like walking now, and sadly with my illness that limits to the amount that I can walk. But I do like a good walk. But it does, it does impede me slightly. But hey ho, it is what it is, isn't it? I'm going to finish up my cup of tea now, and I'm going to take a little stroll and a little wander along the beach, just go a bit further up that way and get back home. Like I said, it was always going to be a short one today because I have hypnotherapy later on today, which is fantastic. I love it. So I don't know whether I've mentioned it before, but for quite a few months now I've been having hypnotherapy sessions, which have been incredible, and I've been doing some life regression and stuff like that. So if anybody wants to find out a bit more about that or wants me to delve into that a little bit deeper, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can divulge about my past lives. But yeah, just let me know what you think. So yeah, thanks for joining us today. It's been quite an interesting subject today, especially when I sort of look at, when you look at the age I am now, and obviously my prognosis and diagnosis. But I think, what it brought home to me, I thought my dreams were going to be completely different to what they were when I was 20 years old. And actually they're not really that different. I suppose I've just flipped it around. The things that maybe some of the people did, some people did when they were younger, I've left till later. Started a family young, thought I would have plenty of time for the travelling. So I suppose the lesson, that I take from today is, it's just you've got to try and live your life the best you can. You've got to try and fit in as much as you can. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's getting that balance between pushing forward, doing as much as you can, but actually savouring and tasting those moments that you're doing that. I don't know whether anybody watches the programme Race Across the World on BBC. If you watch that programme, you'll understand what I mean. There's people that go through that competition that are ultimately just looking at the end goal, how quick they can get to the destination, and not taking time to stop and enjoy the journey on their way to that destination. And I think we all know ultimately what our end destination is, don't we? So take time out and enjoy it as well. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.